There's something about the Versace brand name that tickles your bones every time you hear it or see the Medusa logo on a product of the same name. Donatella Versace rightly said, "Fashion is a weapon that can be used when needed." This brand is known for its exciting, surprising, and incredibly mainstream designs. Individuals can steal the show, break the internet, or both by these creative designs that are heavy on sensuality and/or sexuality. The 1980s and 1990s are regarded as Versace's brilliant era. At this period, they produced a series of designs that inspired a whole generation of fashion designers and elevated celebrities to the status of household names. Princess Diana, Madonna, Elton John, and Michelle Obama, who wore Versace to her last state banquet, are all on the list of famous people that support the brand. This is the story of how Giovanni Versace, one of the most avant-garde fashion designers of the 20th century, stunned the world with his clothing made of metal, plastic, and leather, and pleasing ballet and opera enthusiasts with his exquisite theatrical costumes. But Giovanni Versace's success story is not complete without making a huge reference to his highly innovative and fashion-inclined mother, Francesca Versace. Giovanni Versace early life. While growing up, Giovanni watched his mother, a tailor, create patterns in her shop as a child. He briefly worked at her store following high school before relocating to Milan in 1972. He began working for his mother as a buyer at the age of 18 while still attending school and traveling to fashion shows across Europe. Santo, Gianni, and Donatella were the three children of Francesca, a dressmaker and proprietor of a clothes store. Growing up, Gianni Versace spent a lot of time in his mother's store. He observed her as she made clothing while admiring the fashionable women who entered the store. From a young age, he was certain that he would work as a fashion designer. Gianni Versace was born on December 2, 1946 in Reggio Calabria, an industrial city in southern Italy. His father Antonio was an electronics salesman. Versace got inspiration for his works from his surroundings as well. He frequently strolled around the ruins of the ancient Greeks and Romans, which later served as inspiration for his attire. Versace studied architectural drafting, despite his passion of music, art, and clothing. His passion for fashion magnified as he grew older. The revolution in the fashion industry. Versace began creating clothing when he was 22 years old. He was engaged by a local clothing manufacturer to create a line that was offered in Francesca Versace's shop. To participate in runway events, fashion models from Rome and Milan traveled to southern Italy. The Italian fashion capital of Milan soon heard of Versace. Made in Italy clothes were just starting to appear in the early 1970s. The ideal location for the developing ready-to-wear sector was Milan, which had recently emerged as the world's fashion center. Versace's hire by Chiodini and Ezio Nicosia signaled a sea change in the fashion business. They understood that clothing could not remain nameless. A personal touch was required by increasingly sophisticated customers. By this time, Giovanni Versace was a designer for famous people and members of the royal family, including Princess Diana. He infused life and creativity into a field that was once thought to be disconnected from street culture. Versace's first individual project was for Florentine flowers. He created for De Parasini of Santa Margherita shortly after that. Versace created women's ready-to-wear clothing in 1973 for Jenny, which included leather and suede, and Callahan, famed for its knitwear. Versace founded and established his own brand, Complicite, in 1974. Versace already had his own label even though he wasn't yet working under his own name. Versace created an all-leather line under the Complice moniker. He was one of the few fashion designers at the time to use leather. Versace has created clothing for a variety of musicians, including Michael Jackson's outfits and the stage and album cover costumes for Elton John in 1992. Princess Caroline of Monaco and the Princess of Wales both wore apparel by Versace. Also, Giovanni Versace employed a very good marketing strategy by recruiting supermodels to showcase his works. Versace supermodels. Versace understood how crucial marketing is. He adored celebrities and was aware of how they influenced fashion trends in addition to grabbing the media's attention. No matter where he showed, and his destinations, Versace designers' work inevitably made a statement, in large part due to Versace's tight contacts with the supermodels of the time. Models like Carla Bruni, Claudia Schiffer, Naomi Campbell, Helena Christensen, and Cindy Crawford were members of his inner group. Unfortunately, his success was short-lived as he was murdered shortly after his Versace's Atelier Fall 1997 couture collection, where he had a hugely successful exhibition in Paris with one of his supermodels, Naomi Campbell, taking center stage. A tragic end. The morning of July 15, 1997, was typical for Giovanni Versace. Versace awoke at Casa Casuarina, a 10-room, 3-story mansion built in the 1930s in the Mediterranean style, which is situated at 1116 Ocean Drive, a more tranquil section of the busy Miami Beach Road. He had returned to his Florida estate to unwind with Antonio D'Amico, his companion of 11 years. Versace strolled to the News Cafe, which is situated approximately 0.3 miles south at 800 Ocean Drive, at roughly 8:30 a.m., as he frequently did. Versace walked down the street in just a white t-shirt, black shorts, and sandals. It wasn't unusual for the residents to observe their well-known neighbors exploring their neighborhood and taking part in local activities. He frequently went to the cafe to acquire periodicals, and occasionally he would treat himself to an orange juice. On this specific morning, he spent roughly $15 on 5 magazines: Business Week, Entertainment Weekly, People, New Yorker, and Vogue. He then walked the short distance back to his house. A stranger shot Versace in broad daylight. After arriving at his house, Versace began to unlock the gates of his haven. D'Amico had just entered and was enjoying his coffee on the veranda near the entrance. It was still before 9 in the morning. But before he could enter, a stranger in a white hat, black shorts, and gray t-shirt appeared out of nowhere. He was also carrying a backpack. And at point-blank range, he fired 2 shots from a .40 caliber handgun into the back of the iconic figure's head. It was as though time had suddenly stopped on Miami Beach. Eddie Bianchi, an eyewitness, ran in the direction of the shootings, while he was at a nearby inline skating store. He told the New York Times, "We were right there watching, and there's nothing you can do." Versace was brought swiftly to Miami's Ryder Trauma Center at Jackson Memorial Hospital, which is 7 miles away. But at the age of 50, he was declared dead by 9:15 a.m. The globe went crazy as a result of the shockwaves. The story of the shocking assassination drew journalists to South Beach. Before a county employee wiped the 4 blood-stained coral stairs that afternoon, onlookers gathered at the home's entry to catch a view of them. Later, flowers and cards were left as a makeshift memorial on the steps. Versace was killed by Andrew Cunanan. He was described as a 27-year-old Filipino-Italian-American raised in San Diego. He shot himself 8 days after he gruesomely murdered Giovanni Versace. About 2,000 mourners attended Versace's funeral at Milan's Gothic Roman Catholic Church on July 22, among them, high-profile names he worked with, including Campbell, Armani, John, and Madonna. The taking over. After Gianni Versace was killed in 1997, his elder brother Santo Versace became CEO and his sister Donatella, who had been vice president, took over as creative director. Allegra Versace, Donatella's daughter, received a 50% ownership interest in the business, which she took over on her 18th birthday. At the Grammy Awards in 2000, Jennifer Lopez's green Versace gown attracted a lot of media attention. According to a 2008 Daily Telegraph poll, the dress was ranked as the 5th most famous dress of all time, with Elizabeth Hurley's black Versace gown taking the top spot. Google image search function. Jennifer Lopez's green Versace dress is one of fashion's favorite stories. The Versace jungle dress, which was at once a flowing boho chiffon gown, inspired Google to develop one of its most well-liked features, is proof of the industry's enormous influence, which is sometimes dismissed as superfluous. People desired more than just text, as former Google CEO and executive chairman Eric Schmidt stated on Project Syndicate in 2015. This first became clear following the 2000 Grammy Awards, when Jennifer Lopez attracted worldwide notice with her green Versace jungle dress. It was the most common search term we had ever seen at the time. However, we lacked a foolproof method for giving users what they wanted, J.Lo wearing that garment. The birth of Google image search. Versace today. With a continuous interaction rate of 14%, much above its rivals, the flamboyant Italian luxury brand continues to be the best-performing luxury brand on social media. Versace offers a distinctive lifestyle that welcomes clients into its elegant Italian environment, from its roots in haute couture to ready-to-wear, footwear, accessories, eyewear, watches, jewelry, and home furnishings. Versace sells its goods through a diverse network of retailers, including multi-brand stores, online retailers, and its own boutiques and e-commerce sites, encompassing 85 countries globally. The Italian family-owned company Capri Holdings was purchased by American luxury conglomerate Michael Kors in 2018 for $2.1 billion. Versace has experienced a comeback despite the controversy surrounding the sale. Results for the company's second fiscal quarter of 2022, which ended on September 25, 2021, indicated revenues of $282 million, a rise of 45% over the previous year. Versace's shows have grown to be some of the most anticipated on and off social media during fashion weeks. Just think of its Spring-Summer 2020 show, which was concluded by Jennifer Lopez donning the iconic high-slit jungle dress from 20 years earlier. Versace's first-ever partnership with Fendi, a brand owned by rival conglomerate LVMH, during Milan Fashion Week 2021 in September made another significant record for Versace's innovation in pushing the frontiers of commerce. Today, Versace's DNA is present in a broader range of hotels, residential developments, and furniture and interiors. Donatella collaborated with the design team of Roberto Palomba and Ludovica Serafin to create an Italian-inspired collection for the most recent Milan Design Week. The collection drew design cues from the house's past and revived iconic Medusa, Barocco, and Trésor de la Mer motifs. It also adapted the Greca Print from the runway to interior settings. A bold and distinctively Versace collection was created by combining graphic elements, rich marble, organic architecture, bold style, and flawless craftsmanship. The Italian design home has left a noticeable impression on society. The brand is affordable and manageable for a particular class of individuals. It has a sizable current following today. 2022. One of the top brands on the internet with a $5 billion market is Versace. The brand offers clothes to well-known characters worldwide. It had total assets of $1 billion after the originator's passing. It has more than 1,500 stores operating all over the world. Gianni passed away tragically more than 20 years ago, yet his legacy is still as strong as ever. And most importantly, the story of the Versace family has shown that family is inestimable. Well, luxury fashion has reinvented the world in its own way. Versace is a brand that excels in its choice of components, and is also a master when it comes to promoting its range and building celebrity connections. Intense, seductive, daring, yet elegant is the only way to describe Versace. Thanks to the founder's passion to design something different, Giovanni Versace has undoubtedly earned the nickname the rock and roll designer, as he was known for iconic designs.